Subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon, to never miss a video from us. Hi everyone, welcome to Test Prep Training. In this video you will learn about some commonly asked questions in developing solution for Microsoft Azure. So let's get started. Question number 1. You are writing code to create and run an Azure batch job. You have created a pool of compute nodes. You need to choose the right class and its method to submit a batch job to the batch service. Which method should you use? Your options are. The correct answer is option E. You can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. You are developing a software solution for an autonomous transportation system. The solution uses large datasets and Azure batch processing to simulate navigation sets for entire fleets of vehicles. You need to create compute nodes for the solution on Azure Batch. What should you do? Your options are. A. In the Azure portal, add a job to a batch account. B. In a .NET method, call the method, batchclient.pooloperations.createJob. C. In Python, implement the class, job_add_parameter. D. In Azure CLI, run the command, AZ-batch_pool_create. E. In a .NET method, call the method, batchclient.pooloperations.createPool. F. In Python, implement the class, task_add_parameter. G. In the Azure CLI, run the command, AZ-batch_account_create. The correct answer is, option B. You can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 3. You develop a serverless application using several Azure functions. These functions connect to data from within the code. You want to configure tracing for an Azure Function App project. You need to change configuration settings in the host.json file. Which tool should you use? Your options are. A. Visual Studio. B. Azure Portal. C. Azure PowerShell. D. Azure Functions Core Tools, Azure CLI. The correct answer is option B. And, here's the explanation of the answer. Question number 4. You are developing a mobile instant messaging app for a company. The mobile app must meet the following requirements. 1. Support offline data sync. 2. Update the latest messages during normal sync cycles. You need to implement offline data sync. Which two actions should you perform? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Your options are. A. Retrieve records from offline data sync on every call to the pull async method. B. Retrieve records from offline data sync using an incremental sync. C. Push records to offline data sync using an incremental sync. D. Return the updated at column from the mobile service backend, and implement sorting by using the column. E. Return the updated at column from the mobile service backend, and implement sorting by the message id. The correct answers are, option B, and E. Can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 5. You are implementing an Azure API app that uses built-in authentication and authorization functionality. All app actions must be associated with information about the current user. You need to retrieve the information about the current user. What are 2 ways to achieve the goal? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Your options are. A. HTTP headers. B. Environment variables. C. The following HTTP endpoint. D. The following endpoint. The correct answers are, option A, and C. You can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 6. You develop a website. You plan to host the website in Azure. You expect the website to experience high traffic volumes after it is published. You must ensure that the website remains available and responsive while minimizing cost. You need to deploy the website. What should you do? Your options are. A. Deploy the website to a virtual machine. Configure the virtual machine to automatically scale when the CPU load is high. B. Deploy the website to an app service that uses the shared service tier. Configure the app service plan to automatically scale when the CPU load is high. C. Deploy the website to an app service that uses the standard service tier. Configure the app service plan to automatically scale when the CPU load is high. D. Deploy the website to a virtual machine. Configure a scale set to increase the virtual machine instance count when the CPU load is high. The correct answer is option C. You can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 7. You use Azure Table Storage to store customer information for an application. The data contains customer details and is partitioned by last name. You need to create a query that returns all customers with the last name Smith. Which code segment should you use? Your options are. The correct answer is option C. Refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 8. You must implement Application Insights instrumentation capabilities utilizing the Azure Mobile Apps SDK to provide meaningful analysis of user interactions with a mobile app. You need to capture the data required to implement the Usage Analytics feature of Application Insights. Which 3 data values should you capture? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Your options are A. Trace, B. Session ID, C. Exception, D. User ID, E. Events. The correct answers are option A, D, and E. You can refer the following for the explanation of the answer. Question number 9. You develop a solution that uses an Azure SQL database to store user information for a mobile app. The app stores sensitive information about users. You need to hide sensitive information from developers that query the data for the mobile app. Which 3 items must you identify when configuring dynamic data masking? Each correct answer presents a part of the solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Your options are A. Column, B. Table, C. Trigger, D. Index, E. Schema. The correct answers are option A, B, and E. Question number 10. You develop an app that allows users to upload photos and videos to Azure Storage. The app uses a storage REST API call to upload the media to a blob storage account named Account 1. You have blob storage containers named Container 1 and Container 2. Uploading of videos occurs on an irregular basis. You need to copy specific blobs from Container 1 to Container 2 in real time when specific requirements are met, excluding backup blob copies. What should you do? Your options are A. Download the blob to a virtual machine and then upload the blob to Container 2. B. Run the Azure PowerShell command start Azure Storage blob copy. C. Copy blobs to Container 2 by using the put blob operation of the blob service REST API. D. Use Oz copy with a snapshot switch blobs to Container 2. The correct answer is option B. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.